He's gaining on me. But I'm the writer of this house, not him. He's trying, but let's be honest, he will fail. Every person told me during my upbringing that I will be the famous writer. This guy, this thing, has a head start on his novel, which is a direct attack against my title. But two can play that game. Writing has always been my strong suit. Practically fighting him in my home turf. I mean, all writing is a battle between the author and his mind. That's it. And I'm the one with the self-discipline and the order, not this guy. Okay, maybe I'm not perfect at always being productive, but this challenge will be good for me. And I mean, hey, it'll help me get off my phone too. So without further ado, this is log 1, and I'm hoping it'll be a successful one at that. On Writing, possibly one of the most famous writing books ever, written by the man, the myth, the legend, Stephen King. It's pretty cool. I give it a thumbs up. If I had read it. My brother literally told me everything you need to know about it. He told me that I need to choose between two types of writers. The plotters who plan out every step strategically, the pantsers who just make stuff up as they go along, and I guess everyone that's in between as well. Now, when it comes to writing, I'm kind of a pantser. I've only written short stories, the longest one reaching up to like 30 pages. I'm with Stephen King on this one. Pantsing is easy. You just gotta feel the narrative, feel the flow, and you're set. And ba-ba-boom. Before you know it, you're staring at a solid work of literature, ready to receive all those awards and be read in school in no time. So bring it on. A novel, please. I write masterpieces in my sleep. So I grabbed my pen, cleared my mind, and I began to write like a madman. So what did I write? Well, on the first day, I couldn't really tell you. Part of pantsing is not knowing where you're going and just feeling your way around in the dark until you strike gold. But I don't have time to flounder around in the dark. I gotta finish this thing by December. So I pulled out my phone in search of an old idea or two that I've stowed away. So sometimes when I'm going about my day, a divine little angel puts a good story right in my little head. And I get a thinking all day long and whatnot. And at the end of the day, I write the idea down in the sacred note section of my phone. This is where every great idea I have is born and goes to die. Practically none of these will ever see the light of day. They're either not good enough or just simply too good to screw up. And some of them are simply too sacred, practically holy. The big three. They're untouchable, unreachable. These are the grand epics, the cream of the crop, the 1,000-page literary masterpieces, the ones I will never, ever possibly begin writing. So yeah, there was no way I was gonna choose one of those guys. So I settled on one of the few ones in between. An idea just good enough, but also not too precious. One I could screw up as a beginner. Something simple, like stupid simple. I'm talking a book about 3 guys talking in a room, kinda simple. So here's what I picked. It better work. 2 rival snipers on opposite sides of a desolate battlefield. The drummer one has a crappy duct tape rifle, but he's cold, calculated, and lives in his mind. The other guy is allied and has a spotter alongside him. Their relationship begins to fall apart. The German starts to think he's losing his mind, and they finally meet in the end. Okay, so it's a little rough and kind of vague, but nothing I can't handle. So I dusted it off a bit and I just began writing. So as he writes on, I'll fill you in on what I was going for. Now, here on this very seat, I decided on a narrative direction as I wrote. A style and vibe not too dissimilar to Apocalypse Now crossed with Don Quixote. I really wanted this story to be infused with surrealist elements, things getting more Mad Max as the characters progress closer and closer to the other sniper. And after a while, things just fly off the deep end, and you end up realizing that the story no longer takes place on Earth at this point, but like somewhere else completely. Someplace more distant and like elevated. Now take that oddly specific tone and structure and combine it with the buddy dynamic of Don Quixote, specifically the antics of Don Quixote himself and his servant Sancho Panza. It's basically just an absolutely crazy master and an oddly obedient apprentice. Now apply that to a World War II sniper and a spotter, who are the protagonists, and add an aura of almost psychedelic world building, and you're almost there. Now, I had the idea of making this whole thing in first person from the spotter's perspective, in the same way as Watson views Sherlock Holmes. Now, As I wrote, I painted a dark picture of two broken men traveling through a desolated city in the snow, battling the wind, sky, and each other to get close enough to take down their adversary, who dwells in the center of the city, the only man still truly fighting. And hopefully that sounds intriguing, but I gotta admit, it kinda sucked. I hate to say the B word, but it was boring. Yeah, I didn't like how it turned out. I was really going for those strong vibes of men losing their minds, slowly falling into insanity as the world around them was slowly engulfed into raging flames that encloses the city further and further by the minute, crafting a tapestry of the aftermath of war, the battle decaying with men on both sides wandering the streets with their heads down, mindlessly applauding over the piles of unrecognizable flesh. It was a pretty grim picture. And honestly, it was hard to read. It was so bleak. My brother, who read the chapters as I wrote them, visibly had a worse day when he finished each one. I'll leave it to someone else to make a story this bleak, and do it better than I could. I started to think of my favorite films, and how the darkest, most powerful moments are always brilliantly contrasted by the brightest moments. I mean, you can only truly feel bad for a character when you've seen them smile and laugh. And believe me, there was no laughter in this book. So I swallowed that pride and pressed the reset button. So what was wrong with the idea? So wrong that I scrapped 100 pages of writing. Well, in hindsight, it was too basic. So basic that there wasn't much for the characters to really do. There was no real meat, only tofu, or something. I don't know. After much consideration, I decided to take the opposite path, the other fork in the road. Let's take it from the top. His name is Parker, and he's a soldier in World War II. Again, he's easily bored by war. I mean, really bored. He practically falls asleep when parachuting from a plane. The initial fun he had in deployment had worn off, and now he's just tired, looking for a real adventure. So mid-battle, when he encounters a sniper who poses an actual threat, he and his friend Dieter jump on that opportunity almost immediately. The days get longer as they prepare for the long haul. The game of cat and mouse dragging on. Things slowly descend as their relationship becomes parasitic and toxic, power struggle galore. And by the end of the book, they're in search of a sniper they haven't seen in months. When fellow Americans in a jeep stumble across them in the middle of nowhere, they try to bring them home. But Parker is no longer capable of speaking when he is found, and Dieter needs to be held down as they drive away, the tortured soul kicking and screaming as he's taken away further from where he believed the sniper last was. This sounded all well and good this time around, but a new problem materialized rather fast. Making an adrenaline junkie likable in the context of war is just impossible. He was just a dirtbag, plain and simple, because he was trying to have fun in war. No matter how hard I tried, he always appeared to be a demented war criminal, which, to be honest, he kinda was. So do I continue with something I don't like? It just wasn't gonna work out. No matter how hard I tried. This wasn't for me. Nothing I made would stick. It'd always come out wrong. I would always find myself writing the wrong story, a story I didn't care to write anymore. And they always morph into something else once you're a few chapters in. And you can't pants your way out of that. Maybe I should stick to short stories, or stick to film. Unless... I had no choice. This is all I have left. But this might be all I need. If it's the wrong or right choice, either way, I have to go with it. Full send it. I'm still a little antsy about it. I mean, I can still screw it all up like I always do. But I've never written like this in years. The pages are just flowing out of me like water. It's never been so easy, so fun. As I write these words every day, I still can't believe what I've done. Each page I write, I'm reminded that I'm making an old dream of mine come true. One sentence at a time. And it wasn't pantsing that got me here, that's for sure. Maybe with decades of hard, cold experience, you can get away with improvising a novel from scratch, and it seems I've learned this the hard way. I'm not Stephen King. Not many are. And not many can make a story either, let alone a good one. And making a great one? Forget it. But I think I have what it takes. The story is so strong, it's practically forcing me to write it, to materialize it into existence. Saying the term plotter used to make me quiver inside, but now, when I hear it, I can't help but smile. Because this time I won't screw it up. Believe me, I think I've created something great. It's about truth. About love. War. And deception. He learns about his world, uncovering hidden 1,000-year-old secrets, that the empire he lives in is not what it claims to be. The history books are fake. And he learns he's secretly living in America, hundreds of years in the future. And they won't let him live to share the truth. As he navigates this land in a twisted yet utopian society, he seeks a place this world-spanning order doesn't touch, to escape with his family to a place he hopes exists. And he tells himself it will be different this time. And as for me, well, on my side, things this time are different, as I near completion of a finished draft. A successful draft. These logs are here to track my creative process. So if you're interested in this journey, this project of epic, awe-inspiring proportion, then stay tuned, as the story's only just begun. And as always, wish me luck.